What if I told you one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world stood for only 56 years and then was hauled away by 900 camels? Quick flash of the Colossus standing tall, then crumbling, then a line of camels crossing a desert. The Colossus of Rhodes, 32 meters of bronze, built with war scraps, toppled by an earthquake, and sold for camel cargo. But here's what they don't show you in the drawings. This is the Colossus, a towering bronze statue that once stood at the entrance of the Greek city of Rhodes. Built more than 2,300 years ago, it was an extraordinary achievement for its time. But despite its glory, the Colossus stood for only 56 years before it tragically collapsed. In this article, we journey through all 7 wonders of the ancient world, from the legendary Hanging Gardens of Babylon to the majestic Lighthouse of Alexandria. And of course, the incredible story behind the Colossus of Rhodes. A story that involves 900 camels and a fortune beyond imagination. But first, let us begin with the only wonder that still stands today. The Great Pyramid of Giza was the tallest structure on Earth for over 3,800 years, from its construction in 2600 BC until Lincoln Cathedral was finished in 1311 AD. Built with approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighs between 2.5 and 15 tons. The lightest stones weigh roughly the same as a Tesla Cybertruck. Height, nearly 147 meters. Base area, over 50,000 square meters. But size isn't everything. The pyramid was built with astonishing precision. All major Egyptian pyramids are aligned to true north, and the Great Pyramid's 4 sides face north, south, east, and west, with an error of less than 1/10 of a degree. Some stones inside are cut so precisely that a sheet of paper cannot fit between them. Pharaoh Khufu ordered the pyramid as his tomb, a secure resting place for eternity. He gathered 25,000 workers, and construction took 20 years. The king's chamber was built from red granite, with blocks weighing up to 80 tons, about the same as a Boeing 737. These stones were transported from Aswan, over 800 kilometers away, along the Nile River. The most accepted theory, massive earth ramps, no steeper than 8 degrees, were used to move the stones with ropes, poles, and sleds. Some suggest the Grand Gallery was used as a counterweight system to lift the heaviest blocks. No single theory has been proven, and the mystery is part of the pyramid's magic. Of all the 7 wonders, the Great Pyramid of Giza is the only one still standing. Experts disagree whether this wonder ever existed at all. Described as a multi-level stone garden with trees and plants growing high above ground, water flowing from terrace to terrace, no ruins have ever been found. Some historians described it in detail. Others who visited Babylon never mentioned it. On 1. Babylon, c. 600 BC. King Nebuchadnezzar II built it for his wife Amytis, who missed the green hills of her homeland. No record confirms this. 2. Nineveh, Iraq. An older, larger city with advanced water systems, aqueducts, and stone canals, still visible today. Some believe the name Babylon was used for the whole region of Babylonia. The gardens may have used a device like the Archimedes screw to lift water, but that screw wasn't invented until 350 years later. Whether real or legend, the Hanging Gardens remain one of history's greatest mysteries. After days at sea, you finally spot a light on the horizon. You are approaching the largest city in the ancient world, Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great. The Lighthouse of Alexandria, originally called the Pharos, was up to 3 times taller than a modern lighthouse. One of the tallest man-made structures of its time, after the pyramids. Built in 3 levels, square base, octagonal middle, cylindrical top, crowned with a statue of Zeus or Poseidon, a large mirror reflected sunlight by day, a massive fire guided ships by night. The light could reportedly be seen from over 50 kilometers away. The lighthouse stood for over 1,500 years before earthquakes reduced it to rubble between 900 and 1,300 AD. Its stones were later reused to build a medieval fortress on the same island. So famous was the Pharos that its name became the word for lighthouse in Greek, French, Spanish, and many other languages. Created by the famous sculptor Phidias around 435 BC in Olympia, the birthplace of the Olympic Games. Seated statue of Zeus, nearly touching the temple ceiling, height about 12 meters. Made of gold and ivory, a reflecting pool of oil in front made it appear even taller. The philosopher Epictetus said one could only die happy after witnessing the statue. No one knows for sure. One theory: it was destroyed by earthquakes around 522 AD in Olympia. Another: it was moved to Constantinople, modern Istanbul, by Emperor Theodosius I, who introduced Christianity. There, it may have been destroyed in a fire during the 5th century. A masterpiece so beautiful vanished without a trace. The ruins stand in modern-day Turkey. This was not just a temple, it was a center of religion, banking, and refuge. Kings and commoners stored their money here. It became known as the Bank of Asia. Built entirely of marble, survived in various forms for up to 600 years. Destroyed and rebuilt multiple times. The first version was destroyed by a flood in the 7th century BC. A later version was burned down by a man obsessed with fame on the same night Alexander the Great was born. After Alexander's death, the people of Ephesus rebuilt it even larger. 137 meters long, 69 meters wide, nearly 4 times the size of the Parthenon. 127 columns in 2 rows. The Temple of Artemis was an unbelievable sight, rivaled only by another wonder just 200 kilometers away. A towering, richly sculpted marble tomb built around 350 BC for the ruler of Korea and his wife. It combined Greek architecture with the monumental purpose of the Egyptian pyramids. Over 40 meters high, multi-level, stone base, staircase guarded by stone lions, marble blocks surrounded by columns with hundreds of statues. Pyramid-shaped roof topped by a colossal chariot pulled by 4 horses. Between the 1100s and 1400s, earthquakes destroyed the building. Some sculptures now reside in the British Museum, but the massive marble sarcophagus has never been found. The mausoleum was so influential that the word mausoleum still means a grand, impressive tomb. After the death of Alexander the Great, a brutal war broke out among his generals. In the midst of chaos, the city of Rhodes thrived as a merchant hub, but also became a target. In 305 BC, the general Demetrius attacked with one of the most terrifying siege weapons ever built, the Helepolis, a siege tower 40 meters tall, weighing over 160 tons, as heavy as a blue whale. The siege lasted nearly a year. Demetrius finally gave up. The people of Rhodes collected the abandoned bronze, iron, and metal from the battlefield, melted it down, and sold it as scrap. The total value was around 300 talents of silver, a fortune worth millions in today's money. With that wealth, they honored the sun god Helios by building a statue like no other. The sculptor Chares of Lindos was hired. Construction took 12 years. The statue stood on a massive stone pedestal. Height, about 32 meters. Bronze skin, built using a massive earthen ramp. In 226 BC, only 56 years after its completion, a powerful earthquake struck Rhodes. The Colossus snapped at the knees and collapsed. Remarkably, the people did not rebuild it. The broken pieces lay where they fell, and even in ruins, the Colossus remained a tourist attraction for over 800 years. In 653 AD, Arab forces captured Rhodes. What remained of the Colossus was melted down and sold. According to legend, the metal was carried away by over 900 camels. Only descriptions of the legendary statue survived. The Colossus is often depicted standing with legs apart, ships sailing beneath it, but experts say that would have been structurally impossible. It likely stood beside the harbour, so vast and impressive that sailors described it as if sailing under it. From the only surviving pyramid to the gardens that may never have existed, from a lighthouse that named a language to a bronze giant carried away by camels, the 7 wonders of the ancient world remind us of humanity's timeless drive to create, to honor, and to leave something behind. Some crumbled, some burned, Some vanished into myth, but none have been forgotten.